Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Hello, brothers and sisters. I'm very sorry to report that my visit with Hambone will not happen. And it won't happen because it seems like we have all become prisoners of the military-industrial complex, and somehow these little authoritarian bastards at the Canadian border refuse to let Hambone Littletail in. Well, I think probably Hambone, they were kind of aware of you from probably Homeland Security or something, since you're such a terrible threat because you're busy telling people what's going on. So that can't be allowed to happen. So I'm very disappointed. I was so looking forward to it. Was going to be the highlight of my summer, to tell you the truth, was to have Hambone come down for a couple of days. The folk festival is on that weekend that we were supposed to get together, and now some little authoritarian prick has destroyed it. What the hell? I've never been able to figure this shit out. It's some stupid artificial line that's keeping us apart, people apart. I'd love to go to Sandy's party, and I can't because now we can't cross borders anymore. We are being gradually shrunken down as we go on into the industrial doomosphere, and it's heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking. There's so much crap going on in the world, and it's starting to affect us all personally, and of course the more we speak out about it, the worse things will get. We're not allowed to speak. Soon net neutrality will be closed down completely. That son of a bitch Kavanaugh, that Mr. Drumpf is trying to get on the Supreme Court, and of course we know the Democrats are spineless and they're not going to do a damn thing to stop it. So he is actually in favor of allowing ISPs to block websites entirely. And soon all will be Sinclair Media. Everything will be owned by Sinclair Media, which will be owned by Trump Co. So a 91-year-old Mexican gentleman who was visiting relatives in California from Mexico was beaten with a brick by a woman who was screaming at him to go back to Mexico. Yeah, go back to Mexico, you 91-year-old man, because you might be stealing one of my jobs. Apparently a bunch of yahoos jumped in and joined in on the beating, and somehow miraculously, he's 91, he survived, and we'll just be thankful for that. But it says more about America, the rotten stench that America is putting out across the world. And for those of you with a spiritual bent, we can look to Herr Drumpf's spiritual advisor, Paula White, a very rich televangelist, I guess. There's money in that, right? And she says that Jesus did live in Egypt, but it was legal, and if he broke the law, then he would have been sinful and not been our Messiah. Didn't break the law, just got crucified by the law. Isn't that kind of interesting? I guess he isn't your Messiah. Your Messiah is Herr Drumpf. Your Messiah is death and destruction and hatred. Sarah Palin got punked by Sacha Baron Cohen. Now I have my own issues with Sacha Baron Cohen because I watched a documentary that talked about this poor village in Romania where he filmed part of Borat, a stand-in for Kazakhstan. And while the movie may have been hilarious, you would think that somebody who made $100 million bucks off a movie like that could provide something like clean drinking water for the Romanians village that was stuck in the Stone Age. But you would be wrong. There was no money available for that. But anyway, here's to Sacha Baron Cohen for punking Sarah Palin, who apparently was extremely upset with him as he played a U.S. war veteran for his new series. And you can't get it on normal TV or anything because you gotta pay bucks for it. Sacha Baron Cohen is a funny man. He's also just a big capitalist, and as such I don't really have a tremendous amount of respect for him. But I still think it will be a funny show, but I will not be paying cash for electronic hallucinations. It just goes against me. And what I think, you know, with everything being tracked and categorized and formalized and everything, one day I may just unplug my computer, throw it in the trash, shut off all communication from the outside world, and say, okay, find me now. Because right now, okay, I have controversial positions. Not really a socialist, though. I guess a social democrat would be closer to it. But it's all the same thing. It's communism. Meanwhile, I guess Donnie's talking about disassembling NATO. And is anybody thinking that there's nothing to this Russian shit? I know it's to do with Hillary Clinton and that's why she lost, right? You know, it wasn't because she was a total bitch that nobody liked, but I digress. Oh yeah, the whole thing with Putin and Donald meeting in private, and I think they'll have that soundproof isolation booth that Scott Pruitt paid for. Maybe they'll have that. You remember the Maxwell Smart thing, the dome of silence? That's where Putin and Donnie are going to be. And it is amazing to see that the man is tearing apart NATO, and NATO has been really stupid over the last since the end of the Cold War. And I've always said, well, why are they reneging on everything that they said they were going to do when there's bases right next to, all surrounding the Soviet Union? No, it's not the Soviet Union, it's Russia. And we were being led to say it's the same thing. Well, it's a gangster republic, very much like America is becoming a gangster republic. So you can see why Donnie and Vlad are getting along famously. It's all doomed. Everything's fucked. And we can't travel anymore. We can't... how much longer are we going to be able to post these things and have people read them, watch them, see them? Even a few people, like watch Vegematic channel, they'll all be blocked. And soon all will be Fox News 24/7, and Fox will run the internet. And we can trust those corporate people much better with the truth than we can any individuals living a life or attempting to live a life. You know, and I think it's going the way that Noam Chomsky talked about. Noam recently said that Trump is a distraction, because if you look at it, they're passing all kinds of draconian laws and everything, while Trump is doing the dog and pony show and getting everybody furious and everything. But it's the whole damn neoliberal system. Trump is the clown prince, I guess, and bringing about the destruction of the planet much quicker. Ensuring that truth is blocked. Any possible leak of truth coming out will soon be blocked. So what are we going to have to do to continue to communicate with each other? Those of us who see the truth and the writing on the wall, and those of us who want to somehow try and make things better. I'm not going to be able to. It's all shut down. With Hambone not getting into Canada, that's hit me hard. That's hit me really hard. I was considering getting a hold of my MP, my Member of Parliament, and even the Immigration Minister, and complaining. And Hambone seemed to think that that was not a good idea for me. What difference does it make? Maybe the squeaky wheel will get the grease, I don't know. But there's no reason for Hambone not being allowed to visit Canada. Just like there's no reason I can't go down to visit my friend Sandy and her wonderful friends and party down there. It's just that our world is becoming narrower and narrower, and we're going to have to learn how to function somehow in the ever diminishing space that our voices take up. So, we're going around the world with beer, and I've been a little serious tonight, so I didn't really feel like going around the world in beer, but I would disappoint you guys if I didn't. So tonight I'm going to go to the good old US&A, and this is Rolling Rock Extra Pale, and it's premium beer from the Latrobe Brewing Company in St. Louis, Missouri, and they have glass-lined, what is it? Yeah, glass-lined tanks at Old Latrobe. Now it's a pleasant, light-tasting summer beer. There's hints of bubble gum and hints of St. Louis, Missouri, and they're a little bitter, but mostly it's a pretty decent brew for an American brew, because let's face it, American brews are an inferior breed overall. So when I say something good about an American beer, it's a decent beer. It's Rolling Rock, mind you. This is probably a higher alcohol content being in Canada, because if I'm right, the Americans have a really low alcohol content, so it takes more of them to get pissed in the States. They cost more in Canada, but it takes more of them to get pissed in the States. So your price per piss, I don't know. I'd have to do the calculations. I might let you know next time. So that's all I have to say for tonight. And I would like to give everybody a great big hug, but we're not allowed to. So we'll have to do that electronically before we're not allowed to. And stay in touch. Leave your comments. I answer all my comments. I've got to be one of the only channels on YouTube that answers all my comments. And I figure it's safe to do that, because the amount of subscribers I have is, I guess, laughable compared to the amount of views I get. It doesn't seem to add up somehow. Nothing adds up anymore, does it? I would like to thank all of you for tuning into the Badger-matic Show, and if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, because I won't be here much longer. I'm sure that the Stasi are going to come and take us all away shortly. So in the time that we have left, get this word out a little more. Read the Revolution Continues blog, Cindy Matthews' creation from the other side of the lake, so we might as well be separated, I guess, these days from the other side of the world, or worse, because the walls are going up around all of us. So the Revolution Continues blog, I did a little piece called The Ugly Canadian, and I think it inspired Cindy to write The Ugly American. So go over there. I'll leave the link here, and if it says Bernie 2016 blogspot, it's still The Revolution Continues, so it's not this. Don't worry, just click on the damn thing and read it. So good night, everybody. I hope everybody has another safe day tomorrow, and we can all commiserate together in the doomosphere for now, and let us be grateful for that. Stay well, be blessed. We'll get through this together. Thanks, folks.
And I saw that the great dictators learned from one another what was essentially a blueprint for closing down an open society.
Get him out. Take him out. Get him out of here.